It is the year 2080. Vietnam in 2080 is a mess of sterile cookie-cutter skyscrapers amidst a glittering cityscape. And of course, the cacophony of flying cyclo-cars traffic that is never ending, whether day or night. With your trusty time machine, you yearn greatly to go to a time where life was simpler and where the buildings of Vietnam each had a unique charm to them. A time where historic monuments were conserved and protected. A time where fertile green farming fields dotted the landscape of rural Vietnam. A time where the true essence of Vietnamese character could be seen wherever you went. And that year was Vietnam 2022. Eager to see how Vietnam in the past was like, you gingerly climb into your time travel sleep capsule. This is the capsule that will protectively cocoon you throughout the entire sleep journey with its invisibility shields up, so that you might look out at the environment but no one would notice your presence. Sliding into your comfy capsule bed, you turn on the night light as well as the scent diffuser of aromatherapy oils. As the soothing scent of chamomile diffuses throughout, you note that all the pre-programmed settings have been activated, and all that remains is to press the time travel button. Gently anticipating the revitalizing journey ahead, you ease your slightly tense muscles against the bounciness of the capsule cushions. Your entire body relaxes at the thought of the holiday awaiting you. Closing your eyes, your finger hovers over the time travel button and without a moment's hesitation, presses it. Your wondrous sleep journey is about to begin. Traveling in a way that only the most cutting edge of technology could replicate, the time travel capsule gathers critical momentum and enters a time warp at a blindingly fast speed. The capsule races down a pathway of light, traversing the dimensions of time and space, which span the repositories of memory and human history. The trusty capsule shakes with slight tremors, but you are confident in its capabilities, for you have traveled in it many times before. Finally, the capsule gradually slows to a halt, and the safety belt indicator blinks off, signifying that you have safely reached your destination. You breathe in and out deeply, thanking your lucky stars for the safe journey thus far. Taking a sip of your favorite yogurt smoothie, you indicate to the capsule that it may proceed with the tour of Vietnam 2022. Your capsule bursts out of thick cloud cover, floating in the firmaments above. Below you are more layers upon layers of fluffy clouds, tinged in welcoming shades of pink and peach. They give you an indescribably delightful sensation, with the fog in your mind lifting and clarity prevailing within. This perception of clear-headedness lasts as your capsule brings you closer to the tops of the mountains that hug the base of the cloud cover. You can see that carved into the sides of the hills and mountains our undulating sea of emerald and gold rice terraces. Some terraces are filled with water that reflect the azure blue sky above. Some are a healthy shade of shiny green grass, while some fields are filled with rice paddy in their golden husk, ripened and ready for harvesting. All these form stunning vistas across the landscape. This is Sapa, in the northwest regions of Vietnam. Many of the curvy rice terraces have been around since hundreds of years ago, carved by the ancestors of the Red Dao, Pho Lu, Ye, and Black Hmong tribal people who now farm rice terraces today. This has been their way of life since centuries ago. You can even spot from the heights of your capsule a farmer reclining on the back of his buffalo ox, having a moment to himself in quiet contemplation of his rice fields. You jovially wave to him from your capsule, even though you know that he's not able to see you. Private joke. Still flying around the heights of Vietnam, you chance upon a magnificent cascades dramatically flowing from an escarpment and gushing into a deep pool below. Your eyes goggle as you view it gurgling over several gentler sloped terraces and falling into the valley below. You can feel all your stress gathered together and ebbing away in the depths beneath with the rhythmic surging of the waterfall. Your capsule informs you that it is Dambry waterfall, one of the highest and most spectacular of waterfalls in the whole of Vietnam. It is located amidst a dense primeval forest, replete with giant tropical trees. For nature lovers, there is even a plant fossil cave under the third level of the waterfall. There is also a beautiful story behind the early origins of the waterfalls. Once upon a time, a lovely girl and a loyal boy from two opposing tribes of the area fell in love with each other. Because of the conflicts between the two tribes, there was strong opposition preventing the two of them from marrying one another. Saddened because he could not marry his girl, the boy left home and wandered about the forest. Shortly after, the girl left home in search of him. She spent a very long time searching for him in the wilderness, but to no avail. Downhearted at losing him, the girl waited in vain for him and wept endlessly as she wasted away. Upon her death, her body became rock, and her endless tears became water, pouring powerfully over the rocks. She had become a waterfall, and it was named Dambry because it meant waiting in tribal language. Deeply touched by their children's true love, the two tribes gave up the fight and reconciled with each other. From then on, if any of their offspring desired to marry their lover from the other tribe, it was permitted. Next, your capsule makes a beeline for the most populous and commerce-driven city in all of Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. Although it is not the capital city, it is indeed the financial and economic heart of Vietnam, and 21 million residents live in its metropolitan area. In the old days, it was called Saigon until the year 1976, where the government of a unified Vietnam gave it its present name, inspired by communist leader Ho Chi Minh. As for the crazy traffic that is reputed to have, Ho Chi Minh City has the highest count of scooters in all of Vietnam, numbering 8.5 million. Though seemingly chaotic, there is a method to this apparent madness. Every rider has an attitude of expecting an accident to happen right before them. Hence, they are constantly on alert and are highly accommodating and responsive to their fellow riders. On a side note, Vietnamese riders have a nickname for their scooter helmets. They call them rice cookers. Usually located on the sides of the roads, the street side hawkers sell their wares. These products could be edible fare, like the French-inspired baguette rolls over here, or it could be non-edible products like the pretty white and blue tinted pottery sold on this vendor's makeshift bicycle stand. Another thing you notice as well was the prevalence and popularity of open-air terraces throughout residential areas of the city. This could come in the form of balconies, which channel fresh air at the back of city apartments. Or better, there were roof terraces atop buildings which were open to the elements, where the residents could take meals on the roof terrace, give play to their green gardening fingers, or even do a spot of stargazing. You feel happy imagining that you have a piece of this real estate in the sky. Running through your mind how you would furnish it and the cool activities that you would carry out there. Your feet unconsciously do a little tap dance and you smile broadly at your imagination which has run away with you again. Well, it is good to daydream every once in a while. Moving on, the capsule brings you to a tall cathedral with twin iron steeples. Impressed with its grandeur, you take a photograph that has freeze-framed a flock of birds taking flight amidst the backdrop of the elegantly slim brick buildings of the church. This makes for a cinematic picture rendering of the famous Saigon Notre Cathedral Basilica, as it is called. Built in 1880 by French colonists, it has stained glass windows and twin towers that contain 6 bronze bells within that still ring throughout the day. The all-encompassing red bricks it was constructed with was imported all the way from Marseille, France. And there is an urban legend that stands to this very day. In October 2005, it was claimed by the locals that the Virgin Mary statue in front of the cathedral reportedly shed tears. Numerous people still come to this location in hopes of witnessing this phenomenon again. Up next on the list was Thien Hau Temple in the Chinatown district of Ho Chi Minh City. It is dedicated to Matu, the Chinese sea goddess, venerated for bringing seafarers to safety. It is celebrated for its well-crafted porcelain dioramas, which depict scenes from a 19th century Chinese city. There are also figures from Chinese mythology and animals, as well as Persian and European sailors and traders. This temple is reputed for exhibiting its large collection of 18th to 20th century antiques, wooden sculptures, stone steel, and bronze incense burners. Everywhere you turn in the temple, you can see antiquities on display. Its temple bells are reportedly crafted in 1796 and 1830 respectively. What catches your eyes are the rows of conical incense hanging from the ceiling of the main hall's entrance. The temple workers would hang each incense from the ceiling with a paper containing the personally penned wishes of a visitor. Burning the conical incense slowly, the wishes would reportedly be gradually fulfilled over time. Dropping by the Saigon post office, you note its amalgamation of Gothic, Renaissance, and French colonial design. The capsule informs you it was built from 1886 to 1891. It looks like a European train station out of the 20th century on its inside. Features of its architecture include soaring arch domes and an intricately patterned tiled floor. Inside, the postal workers studiously continue about their duties as tourists stream in, peering curiously at them. It is a full-service post office equipped with old-fashioned phone booths, which are polished to a shine. You relish the thought of sending a postcard to your loved ones, but then you decide against it because as of 2022, they are not present in this world to receive your thoughtful gift. Finally, cafe time! Your capsule whisks you to some of the popular Vietnamese coffee cafes of the day. The welcoming cafe atmosphere and interior design draw you in, and you settle in the corner of the cafe, hidden within your capsule. You can inhale the aroma coming out of the coffee cups that dot the cafe around you. Your capsule informs you that Vietnamese coffee is mainly made of Robusta coffee beans, rather than the usual Arabica beans. These Robusta beans make a brew that has twice as much caffeine, contributing to its strong bitter taste. Rather, it has a taste that is best described as akin to burnt rubber tires, with a robust aftertaste and higher acidity. The coffee beans are usually deliberately over-roasted, contributing further to their bitterness. Many Vietnamese like to prepare their coffee the drip coffee way, with their drip filters slowly dripping coffee into sturdy cups below, percolating to become thick and strong with the aforementioned distinctive taste. Swigging from a small sample cup on the counter, your Starbucks attuned taste buds can barely stomach this flavor, but you manage to rinse it down with some water. Well, at least you did chalk this up to an unforgettable an interesting experience, crossing off this task off your bucket list. One down, 200 more to go. Your capsule carries you to Hue, the seat of the Nguyen dynasty from 1802 to 1945, the very last dynasty of Vietnam. It is located in central Vietnam on the banks of the Perfume River, halfway between Ho Chi Minh City in the south and Hanoi in the north. Hue encompasses the Imperial City and its palaces and shrines, as well as the Forbidden Purple City, which was the Emperor's home, the royal tombs, and the royal theatre. Indeed, this palace complex has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hue endured some heavy damage during the American War, but if you can imagine, in the past, the Imperial City of Hue was once an enormous complex, sprawling with all the bureaucracy of housing a country's capital. A square fortress with thick stone walls known as the Hue Citadel protected the Imperial City, with each of its 4 walls spanning 2 kilometers long. A white moat on the outside buttressed its defenses further, its waters being fed by the Perfume River. According to the ancient art of geomancy, the Hue Citadel site was chosen due to its proximity to the Perfume River and its nearby mountains, which would protect it because they bore resemblance to snakes and lions. Indeed, for nearly a century and a half, this fortress protected the royal capital of Vietnam's last imperial dynasty. Within the Imperial City, a continuous series of gated courtyards, gardens, pavilions, and palaces were built. Somewhere within this labyrinthine complex was the Purple Forbidden City, which contained hundreds of rooms and where only the members of the imperial family might access in person. Even the covered walkways between palaces were exquisitely rendered in fine red lacquer, intricate wood carvings, and gold paint, as these pictures show you. You can imagine the vast scale, complexity, and lavishness of Hue in hushed silence. The capsule measures your heartbeat per minute, which has fallen to a slower, steady rate due to your absorption and fascination with the facts concerning Hue. Immortalized in songs, folk rhymes, and poems from the ages past, Thien Mu Pagoda, or the Pagoda of the Celestial Lady, is one of the representative symbols of Hue. Its architectural feature is its octagonal 21-meter high tower, with each level dedicated to a different Manushi Buddha, or what is known as a Buddha in human form. Thien Mu Pagoda was originally founded in 1601 by Nguyen Huang, one of the first Nguyen lords. He built this to fulfill the local legend that a fairy lady had come to the locals and foretold that a great lord would build a Buddhist pagoda for the well-being and prosperity of the country. Over the centuries, its buildings have been rebuilt several times by the rulers of various eras. It is one of the most popular landmarks which attract flocks of visitors to the northern banks of the Perfume River, where it stands. From human-made attractions back to natural ones again. To shake things up a bit, the capsule brings you to the wilderness near the Laos-Vietnam border. Here, the wind whistles wildly through an opening in the steep cliff face, and the sound of a surging river issues from within. The capsule has brought you to the ultimate natural wonder, the largest natural cave in the world, Doong Cave, which was discovered as recently as 1991 by a local. It is so huge that a Boeing 747 plane could fly through the cross-section of the cave without its wings ever scraping its walls. It measures more than 5 kilometers long, 200 meters high, and 150 meters wide, making it the largest known cave passage in terms of volume. The cave passage is characterized by 2 large areas where its ceiling has collapsed, thus letting the sunlight pour in and allowing the growth of trees and other vegetation. This has led to the formation of underground rainforests. Some of the tallest stalagmites in the world, with the height up to 70 meters, can be found within these chambers. The Great Wall of Vietnam, which is a 90-meter tall calcite barrier, resides in there as well. Your capsule makes its way to Hoi An Old Town, a well-conserved and picturesque Southeast Asian trading port of the 15th to 19th century. This place is also deemed a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its unique blend of history, culture, heritage, architecture, and the arts. Over here, there are shops selling all manner of fashion, bespoke tailored clothes, craftsperson crafted products like silk tapestry and lacquer paneling, handicrafts like woven bags, and souvenirs of all sorts, catering to tourists who descend upon this place. There are also cafes, restaurants, bars, and tiny food joints which dot the old town. Additionally, CNN has declared that Hoi An is actually a banh mi paradise. This so-called banh mi is a French-Vietnamese baguette sandwich consisting of a salad of sour pickled white radish and carrot, crisped cilantro, and slivers of cucumber, surrounding protein options like sweet minced pork to fatty pate to sardines. One of Hoi An's famous landmarks is the Japanese covered bridge, constructed in the 1590s. It was built by the Japanese to link the Japanese quarter with the Chinese quarter so that they might meet to carry out business dealings. There is even a temple attached to the north side of the bridge, aimed at offering prayers to the Taoist god of weather. Tonight is the Full Moon Festival, a monthly event aimed at celebrating the moon deity. In addition to some limited usage of electrical lighting to illuminate the town at night, cloth lanterns shall be lit up to brighten up the place. From sunset onwards, people will exchange flowers, fruits, food, candles, and lanterns for the continuation of good luck and prosperity. Poetry recitations will also take place under the moonlight. You wish that you could be here to witness the romantic setting tonight, but your capsule insists that there is an even better place to be at this time. In fact, there is a delightful rule in Hoi An stating that every business shall install some lanterns at their place of commerce for lighting up. You find this rule most special for a place such as Hoi An that reveals the lovely charms of this atmospheric old town. Finally, the capsule brings you to the crown jewel destination of the tour itinerary, Halong Bay. In Vietnamese, its name actually means descending dragon. Looking at the mystical scenery that could have only come out of a dreamscape of a painter or a poet, you are inclined to agree. Shimmering turquoise water with towering limestone casts and isles emerging majestically from the bay. The limestone alone has undergone 500 million years of formation under different conditions and environments. Moreover, out of the 1,600 isles available, only about 40 are populated with human habitation. This is an important factor contributing to the protection of the rich biodiversity of flora and fauna evident in this lush environment. Some of these casts have caves within that contain stunning stalagmites, and others have grottos that flood with seawater as the tide goes up. In addition, some of these islands have undergone formation that resulted in their own lakes being formed. Halong Bay has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well as one of the 7 new natural wonders of the world. You experience the gradual flow of time through the arrival of the sunset in the bay. You feel deeply relaxed and at home with yourself in the embrace of this scenic natural environment. First, there is a golden globe of light in the sky, which is reflected by the mirror-like surface of the bay waters. Then, as the sun lowers in the heavens above, it gives off its last vestiges of golden glow before changing colors. As time passes, the horizons light up in intense pinkish hues, as if the sky is blushing like a shy maiden in all her beauty. After the climax of the sunset, the sun goes down, but the sky still has a gentle pink tinge to it, mixed with shades of peach as well. This, coupled with the dark blue cast to the waters, adds to the romantic atmosphere of the place. Finally, with the pinkish tinge slowly disappearing, the skies and waters assume various hues of blue for the night. That is when the numerous warm lights of the ships and boats in the area come on, and this adds a sense of human activity and bustle to an otherwise ethereal nature spot. After experiencing the cycle of the sunset, you can fathom the infinite peace of this place, and you feel very much like a part of it. Breathing in and out slowly, your entire being is restful and at ease with yourself. Peacefulness and tranquility surrounds you and makes you at one with nature. This capsule shall make numerous circuits of Halong Bay until you fall into a deep sleep. I shall proceed to read some lyrical poetry that were inspired by the beauty of Halong Bay that have been created by great Vietnamese thinkers, poets, and dreamers. Night breathes, stars wave, sailors gaze at Halong's water. Is it one scenery or many sceneries? Is it scenery in the world or somewhere else? To form this first-rate wonder, nature only uses stone and water. There are just only two materials themselves, chosen from as much materials in order to write, to draw, to sculpture, to create everything. It is quite possible that here is the image of the future world. Dragons were hidden, only stones still remain. On the moonlit nights, stones meditate as men do. Mountains are glistened by water shadow. Water spills all over the sky.